afternoon everyone. We will start our class for today. We just wait for 1 and 2 minutes to join others. If there is no student, then I will start it after 1 minute or 2 minutes. So I am waiting for joining a new participant. If someone is joined, then class will be interactive, otherwise it will be just one-sided class where student are not present, and this is too much embarrassing also, but we have to take the class and finish the syllabus. So today we are going for the duality. Yesterday I have previous class I have told about that. Today we are going to start the duality problem. Some problems will be given and it will be discussed here. As no student is there, so I have to discuss it myself, whatever may be the possible. Okay, let's start the class. I think my screen is visible to all. Duality or sensitivity. Duality is a very important concept associated with the linear programming problem. The term duality implies that every linear programming problem, whether it is maximization problem or minimization problem, is associated with another linear programming problem based on the same data. The original problem in this next, it is called the primal problem, and whether the new problem is called the dual problem. What is given original, that is called the primal problem, and what will be we deduce, that is called the dual problem. The formulation of the dual linear programming is sometimes referred to as a duality. The notion of duality will depend your understanding of which really happening in the simplest method. There are some points to be discussed here. Duality is an interesting feature of the linear problem. Following are some reasons why duality must be studied. Why we are taking the duality? Duality means actually the inverse procedure of the given primal problem. If the primal problem is given maximization problem, then dual problem will be coming as minimization problem. And if it is given primal problem is minimization, then dual problem will be coming maximization problem. So here are some notes are given. If the primal problem contains larger number of the rows and smaller number of the columns, converting into dual can reduce the computational burden. Calculation of the dual cheeks and accuracy of the primal problem. If established the interconnection for all of the sensitivity analysis, that is the post-optimality analysis technique, it yields a number of the powerful theorems which add substantially to our understanding of linear programming approaches. And formulation of dual, solving the primal problem and solving the dual problem. These are the parameters which we have to read here. You can look at here, dual formulation, solving of the primal problem and solving of the dual problem. These are the main parameters. So without hesitation, we are going for an example. Here an example is taken as minimize z is equal to 3x1 plus 3x2. Subject to the condition 2x1 plus 4x2 greater than equal to 0 or 40 and 3x1 plus 2x2 greater than equal to 50. As it is the minimization problem, so both of the inequalities are greater than equal to. Obviously x1, x2 both are greater than equal to 0. And minimize z is given 3x1 plus 3x2. Now we can solve this directly by the simplest method, the minimization problem, or we can change this minimization problem into the maximization problem, then it is solved. When we change this minimization problem into the maximization problem, that is called the dual of this problem, and on that case this given problem will be said as the primal problem. This minimization problem will set primal, and when we find out the dual, then that will be the maximization problem. Obviously these inequalities will be, in case of less than equal to, it will be greater than equal to. Actually, if we take the augmented matrix for this primal problem, then for the dual problem it will be coming as into the transpose of that augmented matrix. Transpose, that means row change into the column and column change into the row. That is the transpose of this augmented matrix will be coming as a dual. So here we are taking that minimization x1 x2, so we introduce new variable w1 w2. So for the duality, maximization w is equal to this b1 b2. These are the, actually we know that for a simplest method it is c1 c2 is equal to this b1 b2 is coming into the maximization problem, that is this 3 and 3 will be replaced by 40 and 50. So for this minimization problem, maximization problem will be case of the dual. Minimization problem will coming into the dual as the maximization problem. So we are taking maximization z is equal to 40 x1 w1 plus 50 w2, and then this column will be coming into the row, that is 2 w1 plus 3 w2, it is less than equal to 3. 2 w1 plus 3 w2 less than equal to 3, as well as this column coming into the row, that is 4 w1 plus 4 w2 less than equal to 3. Look at here, 4 w1 plus 4 w2 less than equal to 3. Obviously here also w1 w2 greater than equal to 0. So this is the dual of the given primal. So it is nothing but the transpose of this. But here both of the cases, given problem was minimization problem, and both of the inequalities were given the greater than equal to. So it is very easy to change into the dual problem. We are taking this greater than equal to as less than equal to. So maximization w is equal to 40, maximize z equal to 40 w1 plus 50 w2. Subject to the condition 2 w1 plus 3 w2 less than equal to 3, 4 w1 plus 2 w2 less than equal to 3, and obviously both of w1 and w2 greater than equal to 0. Now here the flowchart is given, the primal dual construction relationship. The primal problem was minimize z was equal to 3x1 plus 3x2, subject to the condition 2x1 plus 4x2 greater than equal to 40, 3x1 plus 2x2 greater than equal to 50, and x1 x2 both are greater than equal to 0. It was our primal problem. In the right hand side, our dual problem is given that minimization coming into the maximization, and z is coming that this 3x1 plus 3x2, this is coming into that 40 w1 plus 50 w2. Now subject to the condition, this column will be coming as a row, that is 2 w1 plus 3 w2 less than equal to 3, and 4 w1 plus 2 w2 less than equal to 3. Obviously w1 w2 less than equal to 0. Here in the flowchart the changes of variable are given here, how to convert any primal problem into the dual. Here the primal problem was given the straight problem, that is both of the inequalities was greater than equal to. But when we are coming into the maximization problem, actually dual problem, then both of the inequalities is coming less than equal to. Now we are going to analysis about the relation between primal and dual problem. Look at here, the number of the constraints in the primal problem is equal to the number of the dual variables, which is the constant for the primal problem, that is the number of the dual variables, and vice versa. So actually we are just converting row into the column for the augmented matrix and column into the row. So augmented matrix, if I take the augmented matrix for the primal and taking the transpose, then it will be coming for the dual. That is said here. Now if the primal problem is maximization problem, then the dual problem is a minimization problem, as well as vice versa. That means if the primal problem is a minimization problem, then dual problem will be coming as a maximization problem. These are the point to be noted. So number of the constant of the primal, that will be coming into the number of variables in the dual. Then if the primal is maximization, then dual is minimization. If primal is minimization problem, then dual is the maximization problem. Now number third, if the primal problem has greater than or equal to type constant, then the dual problem has less than or equal to type, and vice versa. It is understood. If the primal problem the inequalities are greater than equal to, then for the dual problem it will be less than equal to. If for the primal problem it is less than equal to, then for the dual it is greater than equal to. Because of that, the minimization problem change into the maximization problem, or maximization problem is changed into the minimization problem. So that our inequality also changed here. Then the profit coefficient of the primal problem appear on the right hand side of the dual problem. It is also understood. The profit coefficient of the primal problem appear on the right hand side of the dual problem. The rows in the primal becomes column in the dual, and vice versa. Already I have told you. Rows, if we take the augmented matrix, then transpose matrix for the dual. All primal and dual variables must be non-negative, that is greater than equal to 0. Here for the primal problem also x1, x2 greater than equal to 0. For the dual problem w1, w2 greater than 0. So all constant must be non-negative. That means either 0 or positive. Now solving the original primal problem. So original primal problem was given that minimize z equal to 3x1 plus 3x2, subject to the condition 2x1 plus 4x2 greater than equal to 40, 3x1 plus 2x2 greater than equal to 50, x1, x2 greater than equal to 0. As it is the minimization problem, so we have to add here the we have to subtract the surplus variable. When we subtract the surplus variable to solve any simplex, we know that there must be some artificial variable will be coming. So here we use capital big M, Chom's big M method to solve this problem after adding surplus and artificial variables. Now we can write down that minima is z equal to 3x1 plus 3x2 plus 0x3 plus 0x4. These are the surplus variables plus m into a1 plus m into a2. M is the coefficient of Chom's big M method. M is very large, and a1, a2 are the artificial variables. So this inequation coming into as the equation, that is 2x1 plus 4x2 minus x3 plus a1 equal to 40, 3x1 plus 2x2 minus x4 plus a2 equal to 50. All these xi and ai are greater than equal to 0, where a1, a2 are the artificial variable and x3, x4 are the surplus variable. Now initial basic feasible solution for x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, x3 equal to 0, x4 equal to 0, a1 equal to 40 and a2 equal to 50. So a1, a2 is coming here. So for the basis, a1, a2 coming into the basis, because of that here it is the 2 by 2 matrix. So the basic variable for 2 by 2 1 0 0 1. This a1, a2 make this basis variable, that is 1 0 0 1. So we are taking that CB, that is the basic variable, as coefficient of the basic variables in both of the case capital M, capital M, and basic variables B are a1 and a2, and here CJs are given 3300 mm. Now x1, for x1 it is 2 3, for x2 4 2, x3 minus 1 0, for x4 0 minus 1, a1 equal to 1 0, a2 equal to 0 1, and B is given 40 and 50. Now we have to calculate all the Zj minus Cj. Already we know that how to calculate this Zj minus Cj, that is 2m plus 3m, 5m minus upper part, that is 3. So 5m minus 3 is the Zj minus Cj. For here it is 2m plus 4m, 6m. 6m minus 3 is here. Then it is 0 minus m minus 0, that is minus m. Here also minus m, and 1 0 0 1 always given 0 0. So here the most negative is minus m, these are the positive, 5m minus 3, 6m minus 3, minus m and minus m are the most negative. Now look at here, choose the highest positive value from index row. Highest positive value as 6m greater than 5m, x2. So we are taking the highest positive value. Highest positive value 6m minus 5. So this is the key row, key column. Key column. Now we have to find out the minimum ratio. It will be coming 40 by 4, that is 10, and here 50 by 2, 25. So 10 is the minimum. So 4 is the key element. 4 is the key element. So A1 left the basis and x2 coming into the basis. 4 is the key element, so we have to make this 4 as 1, so we have to divide by 4 all these things. After dividing by 4, so x2 is coming, so corresponding 3 is coming, so x1 equal to half, x2 equal to 1, x3 equal to this, and b equal to 10. Accordingly, this is also changed. Again we have to find out the value of zj minus cj. Here also we are find out all the zj minus cj, that is coming 2m minus 3 by 2, 0, m by 2 minus 3, 3 by 4, minus m, 0. So here 2m minus 3 by 2 is the most positive one. So this column is the key column now. That means x1 will be the entering vector. Now 10 by half, that is 20, and 30 by 2, that is 15. So 15 is the minimum ratio, so 2 is the key element here. 2 is the key element here, so we have to make this 2. So outgoing vector is a2 and incoming vector is x1. So corresponding 3 will be coming here, and we have to make this 2 as 1. So we have to divide this by 2. Then it is 1, 0, 1 by 4, minus half, 50. Look at here. 1, 0, 1 by 4, minus half, 50. Now again, this a2 leave the basis and x1 coming into the basis. So here x1, x2 in the basis, 3, 3 is there. x1 equal to 0, 1, x2 equal to 1, 0, x3 equal to this, and x4 equal to this, and we got the solution variable 5 by 2 and 15. Now again we are find out the zj minus cj, but here all the zj minus cj are non-positive. So our optimality condition is satisfied, as we require that all the zj minus cj less than equal to 0, either 0 or negative. So here all the zj minus cj either 0 or negative. So optimality satisfied. So the solution is x1 equal to 15 and x2 equal to 5 by 2, and corresponding result will be 3 into 5 by 2 plus 3 into 15. Since all the variables of zj minus cj less than equal to 0, therefore the current solution is the optimal solution. Optimal solution is x1 equal to 15 and x2 equal to 5 by 2. So minimize z equal to 3 into 15 plus 3 into 5 by 2, that is 105 by 2. This is the value of this. So here we have solved the primal problem. Is it clear? Here we have solved the primal problem, that means which is given original. Now we want to solve the dual problem. At first we have to make this primal into the dual, then we have to solve that dual problem. Look at here. Note down the value of zj minus cj under the surplus variable x3, x2 on a price of paper. Okay. Now solution of the dual problem. What was our dual problem? Dual problem was maximize z, the 40w1 plus 50w2 subject to 2w1 plus 3w2 less than equal to 3, 4w1 plus 2w2 less than equal to 3, obviously w1, w2 greater than equal to 0. Now here both of the inequalities are given less than equal to type, and the problem is maximization. So we have to add the slack variables. We have to add the slack variables. So maximization z will be 40w1 plus 50w2 plus 0w3 plus 0x3 plus 0x4, where x3 and x4 are the slack variables. So the new in equation, coming into the equation, w 2w1 plus 3w2 plus w3 plus 0 into the plus x3 plus 0 into x4 equal to 3, and 4w1 plus 2w2 plus 0x3 plus x4 is equal to 3. All the w1, w2, x3, x4 greater than equal to 0, where x3 and x4 both are the slack variables. Look at here. Here x3 and x4 are taken as slack variable as the maximization problem. So we have to add this x3 and x4. So these are called the slack variables. So initial basic feasible solutions are w1 equal to 0, w2 equal to 0, z max equal to 0, x3 equal to 3 and x4 equal to 3. So x3 and x4 make the basis. Look at here, x3 and x4 into the basis, and corresponding coefficient of x3, x4 is equal to 0 and 0, what was given here. So for CB, x3 and x4 is there, corresponding CJs are there, and here it is 40, 50, 0, 0, 40, 50, 0, 0, these are the CJ. Now basic variables are w1, w2, x3, x4. w1 is equal to column wise 2, 4, 3, 2. 2, 4, 3, 2, and for x1 it is 1, 0, x3 equal to 1, 0, and x4 equal to 0, 1. So x3 and x4 make the basis, and here right hand side these are basic solution variable b equal to 3, 3. Now we have to make that zj minus cj. All these zj minus cj are negative. So here we have to take the which one is the most negative. So minus 50 is the most negative. So this is the key column. As maximization problem, so we have to show that all zj minus cj greater than equal to 0. So here minus 50 is the most negative. So this is the key column. So after taking the minimum ratio 3 by 3 1 and 3 by 2 is equal to 1.5. So 1 is the minimum. So 2 is the key element. That means w1 should be introduced into the basic variable and x3 will be the leaving variable. So we have to make this 2 as 1. So we are just dividing the first row by 2, then it will be coming 1, 3 by 2, half, 0, 3 by 2. Look at here. w1 is coming here, 40, 40, 0, 0. So it is w2 is coming here. w2 actually coming here. So actually w2 is the most negative. So 3 will be coming after dividing by 3, 2/3, 1, 1/3, 0, 1. Look at here, 2/3, 1, 1/3, 0, 1. Now we have to make this part as it is the 1, so it should be 0. So if we multiply the new row a dash or r1 dash by 2 and then subtract from this r2, then we got the result. We got the result that 8 by 3, 0, minus 2 by 3, 1, 1. So no new variable coming into the basis, that is w2, and x1, x3 was leaving vector. Now again we are making that zj minus cj. Here the most negative is 20 by 3. So this is the key column. So key column. So w1 is the entering vector. Now we have to find the minimum ratio, 1 by 2/3, that is 3 by 2, 1.5. And it is 3 by 8. So this is the minimum ratio. So 8 by 3 is the key row. So outgoing vector is x4 and incoming vector is w1. So for the new basis we have to make it by 8 by 3. So we have to multiply by 3 by 8. 3 by 8, then it will be coming minus 6. 3 by 8, then w1 is coming as the entering vector. It is coming here. Now all the zj minus cj is coming here. 0, 0, 15, 5 by 2. So here all the zj minus cj greater than equal to 0, that means optimality satisfied. As optimality satisfied, so the result is coming, that is w1 equal to 3 by 8 and w2 equal to 3 by 4 and z max equal to 105 by 2. So look at here for the primal problem, what is the result? Result was, for the primal problem, the result Z mean was 105 by 2. For this dual problem also, when we solve this dual, then also it is coming as here also it is coming as 105 by 2. In case of primal problem, you noted that the values of Zj minus Cj under the surplus variable x3 and x4 were 3 by 8 and 3 by 4. In case of the dual problem, these values are optimal values of dual variable of w1, w2. And look at the primal problem. Zj minus Cj under the surplus variable in the last table. In the last table of the primal problem, look at the last table of the primal problem. X3 was minus 3 by 8 and x4 was 3 by 4. Actually, when we solve this primal as a dual, then with the negative sign it will be coming as the solution of dual. So minus of minus 3 by 8, that is 3 by 8, minus of minus 3 by 4, that is 3 by 4. These are the solution of the dual for the last table, that is 3 by 8 and 3 by 4. Look at here last table, 3 by 4 and 3 by 8. These are the solution. So from the primal problem we can conclude the value of the dual problem. And in primal problem, look at for the dual problem, here for the last table where the optimality satisfied, x3 equal to 15 and x4 equal to 5 by 2. So for the primal problem, solution was 15 and 5 by 2. Look at the primal problem. Solution was 15 and 5 by 2. Look at here, 15 and 5 by 2. x1 was 15 and x2 equal to 5 by 2. So there is some relation between primal and dual, which we can show here with the relation of negative mark. So both of the cases optimal solution is the same, 105 by 2 for the primal also and for dual also. So this is the thing where the how primal and dual problems are related to each other. The given primal problem is related to our minimization problem, then the dual problem is coming as the maximization problem. Now we are taking one example where the mixed inequalities are given. Important primal dual result. If one problem has an unbounded optimal solution, then the other problem cannot have a feasible solution. Optimal solution of either problem gives complete information about the optimal solution of the other. If either the primal or dual problem has a finite optimal solution, then other has also a finite optimal solution. And the dual of a dual is a primal. If we take the dual of a dual, then it will be coming as a primal. So it is a very important theorem. Dual of a dual is a primal. It is maybe coming with the example in your semester exam. Show that dual of a dual is a primal with an example. Then you have to take any primal problem, either minimization or maximization. Then you have to make the dual. After getting the dual, then again make the dual of that dual. Then it will be coming as the original, that is the primal problem. Then we can say that the dual of a dual is a primal. Now mixed constant. That means where the inequalities are not same type. Let us take an example here. Maximize z equal to x1 plus 5x2 subject to the condition 3x1 plus 4x2 less than equal to 6, x1 plus 3x2 greater than equal to 2. Obviously both of the constant x1, x2 greater than equal to 0. Now at first we have to make it into the given problem is given as maximization problem. So as it is maximization problem, so by convention all the inequalities should be less than equal to. So for this one, if we have to make this less than equal to, then we have to multiply both sides by negative sign, that is minus x1 minus 3x2, that is less than equal to minus 2. So we are making that one. Maximize z equal to x1 plus 5x2. First one was less than equal to, it's okay, but second one was greater than equal to, so we multiply both sides by negative sign to change this greater than equal to inequality into the less than equal to. So we are changing here, multiplying both sides by minus, that is minus x1 minus 3x2 less than equal to minus 2. Now the direction of the constant can be revised by multiplying both sides of that constant with minus 1. Now the dual model of the problem can be formulated as follows, that is 6w1 minus 2w2, 6w1 minus 2w2 subject to the condition 3w1 minus w2 greater than equal to 1 and 4w1 minus 3w2 greater than equal to 5, and obviously w1 w2 greater than 0. So this is the minimization problem of that. Dual problem is coming the minimization problem, as of the original problem was given as maximization problem. So dual problem is coming the minimization problem, we are making it. Here the mixed inequalities were given, one was greater than, another is less than. For the maximization problem, less than is required, so greater than equal to we are changing into the inequality less than equal to by multiplying by minus 1. So it is coming here. Now we have to follow unrestricted constant. Where the equality is given, there it should be unrestricted. Take an example. Maximize z equal to 2x1 plus 3x2 plus x3. Subject to the condition 4x1 plus 3x2 plus x3 equal to 6. x1 plus 2x2 plus 5x3 equal to 4. Here all the xi's are equal to 1, 2, 3 greater than equal to 0. Look at here, the given problem is maximization problem. That means all the inequalities should be less than equal to. But here no equalities are given. That means all are given as equality. No inequalities are given. Both of the cases it is given equal. So for the equality we know that a equal to b, it can be written into the 2a greater than equal to b and a less than equal to b. Both of these implies that a equal to b. So equality can be written into the two part of inequality, that a greater than equal to b and a less than equal to b. Both of these implies that a equal to b. So for this equality we have to take both of the cases greater than equal to and less than equal to. For two equation we have to take 4 in equation. 2 are greater than equal to and 2 are less than equal to. Now the given problem is the maximization problem. So all the inequalities should be negative. So after from this 2 here will be 4 in equation will be coming, and 2 which of that 2 will be greater than equal to, so we have to change it into the less than equal to. Look at the next part. Here 4x1 plus 3x2 plus x3, that is greater than equal to 6. 4x1 plus 3x2 plus 3x3 less than equal to 6. So together with this we can say that 4x1 plus 3x2 plus x3 equal to 6. Again x1 plus 2x2 plus 5x3 greater than equal to 4. x1 plus 2x2 plus 5x3 less than equal to 4. Together with this 2 we can say that x1 plus 2x2 plus 5x3 equal to 4. Further, the above constant can be written as, if we all those things will require the minus. So for the first one this inequality was greater than equal to, so multiplying both sides by minus we got minus 4x1 minus 3x2 minus x3 less than equal to minus 6. Second one is less than equal to, so it's okay, remain unchanged. But third one is again greater than equal to, so for the third inequation we have to multiply by minus 1 both sides. Then this inequality greater than equal to change into the inequality less than equal to, so it will be coming minus x1 minus 2x2 minus 5x3 less than equal to minus 4. And fourth one is given less than equal to, so it's okay, so it's coming here. Now the dual model of the problem can be formulated as below. that is my minimize. It was a maximization problem, so dual problem will be coming minimize z equal to minus 6w1 plus 6w2 minus 4w3 plus 4w4, and it will be given minus 4x1 and w1 4w2 minus w3 plus w4, it is greater than equal to 2. Again 3w1 plus 3w2 minus 3w1 plus 3w2 minus 3w3 plus 2w2 plus 2w2, it is less than equal to what was given there, 3, greater than equal to 3. And last one is minus w1 plus w2 minus 5w3 plus 5w4, it is greater than equal to 1, and all the w1, w2, w3, w4, they are greater than equal to 0. Now simplifying the problem, if we say that let y1 equal to w2 minus w1 and y2 equal to w4 minus w3, then it will be coming as minimize z equal to 6y1 plus 4y2, subject to the condition 4y1 plus y2 greater than equal to 2, 3y1 plus 2y2 greater than equal to 3, and y1 plus 5y2 greater than equal to 1. Obviously y1 and y2 are unrestricted, they are not greater than equal to 0. Here y1 and y2 are unrestricted, there is no restriction about y1, y2. The above problem can be directly solved by using the following rules. Minimize z equal to this, subject to this, is it understood? Look at here, when we are taking y1 is equal to w1 minus w2 and y2 equal to w4 minus w3, here y1 and y2 both are non-restricted, that is unrestricted. We cannot write down here the y1, y2 greater than equal to 0, because of that here is no restriction. Both of y1, y2 is the y1 is the combination of w1, w2 and y2 is the combination of w4, w3. So here such kind of restriction we cannot say that whether it is greater than equal to 0, whether it is less than equal to 0, whether it is equal to 0. We cannot say that, so we have to write down here y1, y2 are unrestricted. When in case of inequality, equality will be given, that case we call the given problem is unrestricted. So as the primal was unrestricted, so dual also unrestricted. So we got infinite number of values for this kind of the solution. There are no unique solution. Because of that the primal problem was unrestricted. So after taking the formation of dual, that is also unrestricted. So when it is unrestricted, then we cannot find out any finite value. So both of the cases it is unrestricted. If we plot it into the graph, then this part will be into the open half. Open half means there is no restriction, no bound, there is no boundary point will be coming here. So any of the half will be open. So no concrete solution will be coming from here. So it is unbounded. If we plot into the graph, it will be better. You can make it into the graph, and obviously you know that how to make the plot of a graphical method. It is already done here. So if you go for the graphical method, then it will be clear cut understood by you, because of that graph will be shown to you that it is not restricted. So it will be very clear for that. So this y1 and y2 are unrestricted. Now look at here, what is the character of primal and dual. For the primal, ith relation on equality. In case of dual, ith variable unrestricted in sign. In primal, jth variable unrestricted in sign. In dual, jth relation and equality. Actually equality, when equality holds, that means it is the unrestricted. So we have noted down this, when the equality is given, that means the given problem is unrestricted. as well as it is unbounded. So clear cut solution we cannot got from here. We only got the range which is infinite range of the solution, but there is no particular solution here. Infinitely many solutions are present here. Obviously we are write down here W1 W2 all are unrestricted. Because of that we cannot conclude that whether W1 and W2 are greater than 0 or less than 0 or equal to 0. So here we have to write down for this constant W1 W2 they are unrestricted in nature. Is it clear? There is no student, so there is no question also. So I think it is over for me. So next day we are going to solve the dual simplex method. It is also a simplex method which will be done into the help of duality. When the help of duality any primal problem is solved, then it is called the dual simplex method. The dual simplex method is used in situation where the optimality criteria Zj minus Cj greater than equal to 0 in the maximization case and Zj minus Cj less than equal to 0 in the minimization case. Actually we know that for the maximization case all the Zj minus Cj it must be less than equal to 0 must be greater than equal to 0, and for the minimization problem Zj minus Cj it is greater than equal to 0. But when the opposite is came, that is the Zj minus Cj greater than equal to 0 in the maximization problem and Zj minus Cj less than equal to 0 in the minimization problem, then this criteria is satisfied, but the basic solution is not feasible. Basic solutions are not feasible because under the XB column of the simplex table there are one or more negative values. We know that for the solution, feasible solution, it will be coming unique, but when it is negative then it is not called the basic feasible solution. Basic feasible solution means it is a feasible solution with non-negative, but when in the basic column some negative is coming then they are the not basic feasible solution, although they may be the feasible solution but not the basic feasible solution. When XB column that contains the basic part, this basic part contains any negative, then we have to use the dual simplex method. I think you could understood from here when the dual simplex method is done. Dual simplex method is done on that case where the basic variable are coming as negative. Basic variable are actually feasible, so basic feasible solution are coming negative, then they although they are the feasible solution but they are not the basic. Because of that we know that basic feasible solution always non-negative. When this basic column some negative will be coming, that means they are not the basic feasible solution. Whether may be the feasible solution but they are not the basic feasible solution. On that case we have to use the dual simplex method. So today time is very shorter, so we discuss the dual simplex method into the next class. For this dual simplex method we have to require something. Sometimes it allowed to easily select an initial basic without having to add any artificial variable. Without add any artificial variable. Artificial variable means we know that what is the chance begin variable. Chance begin method is used to solve this kind of the problem where the artificial variables are involved. It aids in the certain type of sensitivity testing. Sensitivity testing it will come in. It helps in solving integer programming problem. Next we are coming for this integer programming problem which is yet not done. Algorithm as well as example. The dual simplex algorithm proceeds in this way. So dual simplex method will be discussed into the next day or next class. So this simplex and dual is complete. What is dual? What is simplex? Then dual of a dual is a primal. What is the primal problem? What is the dual problem? If any primal is given, how to find the dual? When the primal is unrestricted, how to find the dual? These are already completed. So we have some example of the duality is given here, and one thing for it is your task. Dual of a dual is a primal. Taking an example, you have to prove that it is left to you people. So you have to done it dual of a dual as a primal. So this time is over, so we shall stop for today. So for next day we will come here for this one. Okay, thanks to all of you. Have a good day.